Welcome back, everybody. We are just receiving breaking news. Just came to me. I've actually got a paper here with a press release that just came out. An officer-involved shooting is currently taking place near the area of Holmes Road and Simpkin Drive. That's near Pleasant and Grove. 2 officers from the Lansing Police Department have been shot, and we are actually getting information that the suspect has also undergone fire and has taken a bullet wound here. We have very preliminary information right now. Lansing Police Department is asking that anybody in the area avoid the area or stay inside. And we have 6 news crews on the scene, and we're going to bring you the latest as soon as we get that information for you.
News at 5.
I've been trying to leg. Don't fight with them.
2 Lansing police officers shot this morning. The suspect hit as well. And tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. It's our top story at 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry Jones is off tonight. Lansing's police chief says those 2 police officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Both of them were shot in the leg. Ray Sherman is here for you now with a closer look at how this all went down. Ray?
Well, Siobhan, it happened around 11:15 this morning in the 2000 block of West Holmes, just east of Pleasant Grove Road. You're seeing the police officer and victim as they pass each other on their way to the hospital. The police chief says those 2 detectives were in the area following up on a previous crime when they ran into the suspect behind an apartment building. Those detectives called for backup and 2 officers responded. That's when there was a shootout. As the officers and the suspect exchanged gunfire, the 2 Lansing police officers were hit, struck in their legs, and were taken to Sparrow Hospital. The chief said their injuries are considered non-life-threatening. The suspect was also shot and was taken into custody.
The detectives called out for priority backup after making contact with the accused. At that time, patrol officers from the road responded to the detectives' call for assistance to the back of the building, and that is where the officer-involved shooting took place. 2 Lansing police officers and the accused were shot and transported to local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries.
Chief Sosby added that the suspect was, quote, familiar to police. Tonight, the Michigan State Police have taken over the investigation. That's normal protocol when officers are involved in a shooting. We will have more on the story coming up on 6 News at 6. Siobhan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ray. Well, Lansing Mayor Andy Shore was at that news conference today as well to reassure the community that there is no active threat.
They did apprehend the suspect, so for the south side here, we want to make sure that folks know that they are safe and that the situation has resolved itself. I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to those that were hurt.
And once again, stay here with 6 News. We'll have more tonight at 6.
Towards Jackson. Once that rain gets here, it's going to be here for a couple days, and some of it could be locally heavy. So just be prepared for that morning commute to include some rain showers. Temperatures tomorrow morning will start out in the 40s and 50s. Will rise again in the mid and upper 50s tomorrow, but there's a warming trend for the weekend. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 6.
I've been trying to leg. Don't fight with them.
Are you still fighting?
Sorry, EMS for me, please.
Crew units responding. The subject is not secure at this time. Again, no fighting with him.
Gunfire in Lansing. 2 officers shot in the line of duty. The suspect also hit. It's our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry Jones is off tonight. Now, the first thing is we do want to tell you that both officers are expected to be okay. They were shot in their legs and taken to Sparrow Hospital. Ray Sherman is here for you tonight with more on this tense day for Lansing police.
I've been trying to leg. Don't fight with them.
2 police officers and a suspect were shot Wednesday morning in Lansing. It happened around 11:15 along the 2000 block of West Holmes, just east of Pleasant Grove Road.
2 Lansing police officers and the accused were shot and transported to local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries.
Chief Sosby says 2 detectives were in the area following up on a previous crime when they ran into the suspect behind an apartment building. Those detectives called for backup and 2 officers responded. That's when there was a shootout, as the officers and the suspect exchanged gunfire. The 2 Lansing police officers were hit, struck in their legs, and were taken to Sparrow Hospital. The chief said their injuries are considered non-life-threatening.
The suspects have been apprehended. I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to those that were hurt. Our officers do a wonderful job for our community, and we know that they are extremely responsive. So for the south side here, we want to make sure that folks know that they are safe and that the situation has resolved itself.
Chief Sosby added that the suspect was, quote, familiar to police. Tonight, the Michigan State Police have taken over the investigation. That's normal protocol when officers are involved in a shooting. 6 News will keep you updated. Here for you in Lansing, Ray Sherman, 6 News.
All right, thank you, Ray. Well, this is the first time Lansing police officers have been shot by a suspect this year. The last time officers shot a suspect was on January 10th during an attempt to arrest 30-year-old Zachary Dooling, who had a warrant in Jackson County. The department released body cam footage showing officers attempting to stop a white car from leaving the scene, and gunshots can be heard. Police arrested Dooling the next day with a bullet graze on his shoulder. Well, the Lansing Police Department also responded to the corner of Sycamore and Shiawassee this afternoon for another shooting that took place. 6 News reporter Nate Salazar was there and spoke with neighbors, and he's here for you now with those details. Nate?
Siobhan, a large presence in downtown Lansing just before 3 o'clock today, where police blocked off the intersection of both roads that you mentioned. When 6 News arrived, multiple squad cars had formed a perimeter around 409 West Sycamore. Police could be seen coming in and out of this White House, while other officers spoke with people with what is believed to be blood on their hands and clothes. Multiple witnesses told me they saw someone get carried away in an ambulance. A neighbor who lives 4 houses down the road says she heard loud arguing just before the police showed up.
But they'd been arguing for about a half an hour before I came to the front and saw all the policemen. Obviously, it's something. There's like, 15 police cars? I did see someone go in an ambulance and was told that they were fighting to go out the door, but I did see the officers put him on a gurney and transport him. So what I understand is that somebody was shot.
Well, the Lansing Police Department has since confirmed that the victim of the shooting is in the hospital with, quote, serious injuries, and that they're still investigating. As soon as we get more details, we will let you know on air, online, and through our 6 News app. Siobhan.
Two Lansing police officers were both shot in the leg with a gun that had been wrestled away from a detective. It's our top story at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry Jones has the night off. Well, we have learned new information in the last few hours on the shootings of 2 Lansing police officers and the suspect in the case. Rachel Ramsey was at the Lansing Police Department for an updated news conference and is here for you now with the latest details, including what we know about the suspect. Rachel?
Yeah, Siobhan, the police chief says the shooting happened in the 2000 block of West Holmes Road. He says the 28-year-old suspect was under investigation by detectives for a violent crime that happened earlier in the week. But after officers tried to take the man into custody, there was a struggle. That's when police say the suspect got a detective's gun and started shooting.
These are 3 families that have been affected. They're people like me and you. They have emotions. They have to deal with this trauma.
Terrence Cooper says he was near the area of the shooting today and says it's a blessing no one died. But he hopes those involved and their families can find a healthy way to process what they've just been through.
You got to get help when this type of stuff happens. There are people that seen the shootings happening. That is trauma, and we don't deal with it.
Lansing Police Chief Ellery Sosby says shortly after 11 o'clock this morning, detectives were following up on a violent crime from earlier in the week when they asked for 2 patrol officers to help with a traffic stop involving the 28-year-old suspect. But police say when they tried to take him into custody, things took a turn.
The suspect attempted to flee the officers on foot. Officers quickly caught the subject, and a struggle ensued after that. During the struggle, the accused disarmed one of the detectives and discharged the firearm, striking 2 police officers.
Police say one of the officers then shot back, hitting the suspect. Both the officers and suspect do not have life-threatening injuries. The chief says officers' identities and video of the incident will be released at a later date.
I mean, they're trying to do a job protecting the community that they swore to protect, and because the criminals that we deal with today are empowered and emboldened and believe that they have no consequences and aren't going to be held accountable, they react and act like this towards law enforcement.
Michigan State Police are handling the investigation, and police say the suspect is in custody.
This is what our officers face every day. Do I think it will get better? Yes, I do. I think we're on that upward trend, but we've got a long road to go.
There is a nonprofit called the 100 Club of Greater Lansing that works with law enforcement and other first responders to help with financial donations and support. Ingham County Sheriff Scott Rigglesworth says these officers will likely get that support. Siobhan?
Rachel, thank you. Well, Lansing police also gave an update on another shooting in the city today. This one happened around 3 o'clock this afternoon on the 400 block of North Sycamore Street near downtown. When officers arrived on the scene, they say they found a 43-year-old man who had been shot in the neck. Tonight, that man is listed in serious condition. Police say they have a 37-year-old man in custody for the shooting. Chief Sozeby says this shooting happened while the department was still dealing with the other shooting.
Concerning. I mean, this is what our officers face on a daily basis. I mean, we have worked very, very hard to combat the violence in the city, and I think we're doing a really good job at it. Unfortunately, things like this happen, and unfortunately, they, happen all at the same time as it happened today.
The chief added his officers did a fantastic job today making sure the entire city was safe, and he couldn't be more proud of them.